Hey everybody, I'm Barry Jones and this is my wife Angie.
Hi.
And today we're coming to you to talk a little bit about marriage. And the topic I want to bring up today, honestly, it has to do with a pet peeve of mine. I've been going to church my entire life and I am also a pastor, and so I have given many sermons about marriage and I've seen many sermons about marriage. And if you're at all familiar with what the Bible says concerning the family, it talks about how, the man is in charge, the wife is second in charge, and then the kids are supposed to do what they say. It's all about the structure.
Yeah, children, obey your parents, wives, submit to your husbands, and husbands, lay down your lives for your wives.
Right. So but that's only part of it, because there's a lot of families that have that structure in place, but they're horrible places to live.
Yes.
It's just not good. And
it's
so
contentious.
Yes, it's contentious. There's a lot of just friction and bitterness. And so that's not enough. And that's just part of the equation. And so you also need to have, and we're going to talk about three more things that are heart issues. The structure is important, but you have to have this also. Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
It needs to be both.
Yes. So the first thing is this. The home needs to be a place of unconditional love. It needs to be a place of unconditional love. That means you love each other, you love that other person, regardless of the conditions that are taking place, regardless of what it is that they've recently done or have done in the past. And that love needs to be conveyed even when they least deserve it. Okay? And so you have to not only be loving to the other members of your family, but you also have to be accepting of their love as well. Okay? And so that's the first one.
So important.
It is.
Especially when because families are full of people that are messed up, and so there are constant issues that and people don't live up to your expectations. So loving them, even when they aren't meeting up to the expectations, or when you feel when they don't really deserve it, whatever that means, because none of us deserve it.
None of us deserve it.
But loving past that, loving through that, that's where the rubber meets the road.
Right. And every family is going to have friction. And so there's always going to be some kind of argument. There's always going to be some kind of frustration. And there's always going to be mistakes. And so you still have to love that person anyway.
Right.
So the second part of that is that the home also needs to be a place of forgiveness.
Absolutely.
A place of complete forgiveness. Because, just like we said, there's going to be mistakes. I have made mistakes, Angie's made them, our children have made them. And you have to make sure that you not just forgive, but that you convey that you say it, and that you let them know that forgiveness has taken place. Okay?
That can be an oral forgiveness. I do forgive you, but it should be accompanied by some actions that speak to that. And sometimes that's just a matter of laughing together. Sometimes it's a matter of enjoying each other's company or including them in something you're doing. But that speaks volumes besides just the words, because we can sometimes say, I forgive you, and really still be harboring something. Right. So it needs both the actions and the words to convey forgiveness appropriately.
Right. And that does open up a big can of worms. I know that this gets into the whole idea of forgiveness and that sort of thing, and I've talked about that. I'm actually doing a series right now about that, but we're just talking about, kind of your run-of-the-mill types of things. And so we're not talking about bigger things.
It's like the daily grind of
Yes.
family life and just living with other people. It requires forgiveness.
Right. And one of the things that we tell our kids is that you're not allowed to hold a grudge. That's not permissible. You're not allowed to hold a grudge. Grudges aren't allowed in our house.
Right.
And so that's part of that. And really what that means is that mom and dad, they really need to exemplify forgiveness. They
Sure.
need to be the ones who set that pace. Okay?
And holding a grudge, it ends up being that resentment just shows its ugly face in another location.
Yeah.
Minutes, days later. So especially in a home where everything's so raw and on edge during a point of unforgiveness, that could be really difficult.
Right. And then the third one is this. The home needs to be a place of commitment. The home needs to be a place of commitment where I am committed to each individual individually, and I am committed to everyone as a family
Yes.
and the bonds that exist between them. And so I'm always looking out for the best interest of everyone involved and everyone that involves. Just a simple idea that, I really do want what's best for you, and that I am actively pursuing, even though we are each unique, that I'm actively pursuing unity among all of us.
It's that team mentality again. We're in this together. We have a commitment to one another, and I'm here for you. And we're playing this thing together. We're making this work together. So that commitment comes into play in all the other areas: the loving and the forgiveness. Those three things are very much connected.
Yes. And so, like we said, both of these things are important, both the character and the structure, but a lot of times what you only hear about is the structure, as if that's going to fix everything.
It does
And
not.
it doesn't. It does not.
There is really nothing that fixes a heart problem other than fixing the heart.
Yeah.
And you have to fix the heart. You have to go to where the source of the problem is, and if the problem is a heart problem, that's a character issue. That's a Jesus issue. That's something we need to go directly towards. Moving on that.
Right.
And no amount of structure, no amount of hierarchy, no amount of organization, is going to fix heart issues.
Right.
So heart issues have to be combated at the heart, and that needs to be with the Lord in mind, keeping that all as part of the family.
Right. So, just some things to think about, and we hope that you will prayerfully consider these things. And I do want to say one more thing as we close. Don't think about, those heart issues. My spouse really needs to work on those. My children need to really work on those. My mom or dad really need to work on those. Ask yourself, how am I showing unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and how am I showing commitment to my family?
None of us are perfect.
Because
we
none of us are
all
perfect.
need to be working on those character qualities and figuring out where our hearts are on the matters that just are part of that daily grind.
Yep. All right. Well, guys, that's it. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Bye.